Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Pelican Bay K9's Dog TV, Dog News for the day, giving it to you the way I always do, fair and unbiased. Some gonna like it, like I always tell you, and some ain't. Some ain't. If you're looking for that PBK9's apparel, check the link down in the description. It'll take you to the store and it got all kind of little things, you may like in the store. Big salute to all my dog lovers. Big shout out to all my dog lovers from one side of the world to the other. Big salute to them brothers down in the chat, them sisters down in the chat, everybody watching the video from across the world. It's your boy giving it to you, man. We about to get into that news. We about to get into that talk. We got some dog politics to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sit tight. Let's get into it.
Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm first green ballin', tryna get my bread long. You know the game gone and my mind been blown. Different decision that I done made got me fucked up now. Still gon' thug the life I'm living, still gon' hold this shit down. Every day of my life, yeah, nigga chasing cheese. And the same niggas that be around there will see you off your feet. My mama been doing bad, but I ain't going into that. I done picked that girl up when I caught my first package. I be damn. Me and my people hurting for something for a day. That shit happen, the next man ain't getting nothing. Faded the root of evil, and that's my damn best friend. And I put that on my life, ain't nobody gon' fuck with him. You try to jam it, yeah, that ass getting chopped. Trying to serve ain't got no business on my block, I bet you're getting chopped. Now either way you try to fuck with my pulse, don't believe that ass getting chopped. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now bitch, I'm back in the mix. Those flaky niggas better stand down. Came home, got me some yam, I'm the man now. Niggas, some bitches all from my face, I ain't know who they is. Everybody up from my mix like I'm a hero and shit. Fall back, I'll buy a brick. Right now I'm on a mission, I'm giving you 2 for 20. Got grams going for 50. Putting that in my pockets, the nigga you bullshitting. What the fuck you ain't listen? I done told you I got to get. Nobody depending on me, so it's all mine. I ain't stressing out by myself, that's how it going down. My mama fighting her little addiction, she gon' be alright. Before I ever tweaking and begging, I put something up on the pipe. This is no fraction of my life, still all in for a lick. Looking for fatty, looking for niggas to tone mix. Start to lurking if I'm hurting, different side come out. That flip shit, talk to Jacob, Mr. Hyde, come out. Gonna be, you know how I played it all. That nigga burn it deep. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all about my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be?
Okay, my brothers and my sisters, we got some dog talk coming from the Pentagon, but first, let me give a big shout out, man. Let me give a big shout out. Big salute to all them brothers that had success with their dogs that didn't have a bit of yellow Grand Champion Yellow, Red Boy Jocko blood in it. Because we always, we'll be talking about certain dogs and we can't leave off the other ones, and we can't make it sound like or make it seem like all the other dogs didn't have great dogs as well. So I want to send a big shout out to everybody that was successful with all their lines that didn't have any Red Boy Jocko in it. All the Eli, the Bolio, all the crosses that was made, and brothers had successful years in the dog game. I'm talking about their whole career been successful without having one yellow dog in it. And you got brothers who don't even like the yellow stuff, that that to them, every time they went against a yellow dog, they beat it. It's just as many brothers out there that can say, oh, I took them yellow dogs out, as the ones that can say, oh, I took a yellow dog and I handled him with it. So big salute to them brothers, man. We can't really get, beside ourselves and be thinking and be, acting like there's only one line of dogs that was winning. So like I said, I gotta give a big shout out to all these brothers, man. Brothers really did a lot of great things with the dogs. I just hate myself as a dog, enthusiast. I just hate that some of the lines are more rare than the other ones, and some of the lines that are probably some of the better lines are rare. Just some of the old school stuff, not in particular, but just we have a lot of Red Boy Jocko, we got a lot of Jeep, we got a lot of Eli, but there's other little lines out there that we have minimum of it. And, they, could be great dogs, So big salute, man. And the thing is, I want to tell every brother, like I always say, keep rocking your bloodline, man. It don't matter what we talk about. All this stuff on these dog channels is entertainment, for the most part. And dog knowledge as well. But don't ever think your dog is less of a dog because I may get up here and say F the Eli dog or F the Jeep or F the this or F the that. Don't think your dog is more or less. This is all dog talk, man. Entertainment, day for day, all year long. Got to give you something else different to talk about, or something else different to think about, And like I said, knowing that when you watch these channels, everything ain't meant to keep in. Some things you might hear and just let it go in one ear and out the other. Some things you add to your program. You just got to have that judgment and pay attention, to the information and folk you dealing with, But yeah, man, we speak so much on these yellow dogs. A lot of these younger brothers, they might get in here and think, oh man, them was the only dogs winning back in the days. You know what I'm saying? And nah, it ain't like that. When we say South Carolina was bulldogging, yeah, we was bulldogging, but you got 49 more other states out there. Maybe 50, it just depends on, did they add the other ones in at that time? So you got brothers who never was even recognized to this day. You got brothers who been bulldogging who nobody know about to this day. They was never interested in being known in the books. They was never interested in being known on social media to this day, and they still running great dogs in the United States. There's a lot of rural territory, at places that people don't really go at like that and deal with folk like that, And like I said, some folk just stay in their little lane, stay, minding their little business, and they've been bulldogging. So big salute to them brothers. And like I said, over here, we love our yellow dogs, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't stupid. I ain't stupid. We like to win. I adapt to the situation at hand. If it, the same way I adapted in the 90s, like I tell y'all, we started off, not saying we had Red Boy Jocko dogs before we had the Garner, but then we got the Garner stuff. It was looking good, but it wasn't quite as big as the Red Boy Jocko stuff, but it was looking good. But then we got them yellow dogs, the ones we had the first time coming down off yellow, they was coming down off the Red Boy Jocko strings, but like Sheba and more yellow dogs, or more Yellow John dogs rather, but it just a lot of great dogs out there, man. A lot of great dogs, and brothers, I just don't want brothers to get the wrong idea, like we don't represent for all the bloodlines on this channel. You know, I'm a Eli man, like I told you, I'm a dog lover. You know, so if I love all breeds, you know damn well I love all lines of dogs when it comes to pets. If I love all breeds, you know I love all lines. Whether it's Midnight Cowboy, your Eli, your Jeep, or whatever. A pit bull is a pit bull at the end of the day, but then a pit bull isn't a pit bull at the end of the day. And like the brothers always say, we're going to talk about this too, you know, everything isn't a pit bull. We're going to see what your knowledge is when it comes to everything isn't a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see what your knowledge is when it comes to that, you know. But like I said, man, we're going to get into some dog talk. I'm going to go ahead and get y'all brothers and sisters into this news. Hope y'all had a great day. Hope y'all having a great evening. Hope you got them pots on the stove balling and brewed up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into this dog news. We're going to the Pentagon, where we got the Pentagon official. He done pled guilty. You know, a couple weeks ago, I gave you the update to where his co-defendant had pled guilty. Now, the actual Pentagon official pled guilty. So I'm letting y'all get that firsthand. PBK9's Dog Talking News. Let's get into it.
Top Pentagon official is under investigation, accused of playing a major role in an extensive dogfighting ring. A warning, the details of this case are difficult to hear. According to court documents, federal agents seized several dogs from his Maryland home and equipment used to electrocute animals. And they say the dogfighting may have gone on for decades. News 4's Walter Morris has the disturbing details.
A high-ranking Pentagon employee is facing federal charges. According to court documents, as Deputy Chief Information Officer, Frederick Moorfield Jr. provides technical expertise, oversight, and broad guidance on policy in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. But investigators say he's also a dog fighter. These are pictures of 5 dogs seized from Moorfield's Arnold home during a search September 6th. Agents say they were found in a windowless room in the unfinished portion of the basement. They say they also found weighted vests and heavy chains used for dogfighting, as well as this carpet covered in bloodstains and these jumper cables with traces of blood and hair, allegedly used to electrocute dogs who lost fights.
Animal control came here and talked about, we could overhear them talking about the dogs in the basement locked up in the kennels.
According to this criminal complaint obtained by News 4, the feds combing through Moorfield's iCloud and phone records going back to 2018 and earlier. They say he and his associates used encrypted messaging apps to discuss training fighting dogs, exchange videos about dogfighting, and arrange and coordinate dogfights and associated wagers. The feds say they would also compare methods of killing dogs at lost fights. During the search of his home, agents say they also observed dark stains on walls, consistent with bloodstains from dogfights held at the location.
It's really just a sadistic thing they do to these animals.
Jeanette Reaver with Humane Society International says, unfortunately, these types of cases are more common than you might imagine.
People often think it's either in rural communities or it's only in urban environments, when that is completely inaccurate. Dogfighting happens everywhere.
The Humane Society offers rewards for information leading to the arrest and conviction of dogfighters. And while Moorfield waits to learn his fate, advocates say harsh penalties like serious jail time are the only way to end animal fighting.
There's got to be consequences, and that's the most important factor here.
A spokesperson here telling NBC the Department of Defense is aware of the criminal complaint and Moorfield is no longer working in the building. At the Pentagon, Walter Morris, News 4.
This was scheduled to go to trial next month, October 14th, in fact. But that's not happening now because today, Frederick Moorfield Jr. told a judge he is guilty on 2 of the 8 counts he's charged with connected to this dogfighting case. Mr. Moorfield, why'd you decide to plead guilty today?
No comment.
Frederick Moorfield Jr. did not want to talk as he walked out of U.S. District Court on Friday after pleading guilty to 2 of 8 counts in his federal dogfighting case. Count 1, conspiracy to engage in animal fighting, and Count 9, a racketeering charge. What can you tell us about how the process came about and why the guilty plea today?
I don't have any comments for you. Sorry about that.
The judge accepted the guilty pleas after hearing federal prosecutors lay out their proof. Dogs found locked in cages in a windowless basement room, a jumper cable device used to electrocute dogs that could no longer fight, a bloody rug that served as the floor of the dogfighting ring, and his online dogfighting handle, Jihad Kennels, which he used to set up fights and discuss payouts over encrypted messaging apps with other members of a group called the DMV Board. What happened today? How you feel about the guilty pleas?
I think at this time our office isn't going to comment.
Moorfield is 63 years old and retired, a former top Pentagon communications officer who left that post, the judge noted, when the case was charged a year ago. The judge said the rest of these charges will be dismissed when he's sentenced on December 2nd. Do you plan to have comment at your sentencing hearing in December?
No.
He does have the right to speak on his own behalf at that hearing, the judge told him today. Also said that he'll consider federal guidelines in this case and previous dog-fighting sentences in making his decision. The judge also warned Mr. Moorfield that he's, quote, exposed to prison time here, and then allowed him to remain out on bond under supervised release, living with his daughter in Owings Mills. Reporting live from federal court downtown tonight, I'm Kate Amara, WBAL TV 11 News.
It's going down, up there, it's going down. But let's talk a little bit about crossing out your dogs, or making the breeds you make for better dogs, breeding for better dogs. Let's speak about that a little bit, and crossing out, and I'm gonna use some of my dogs, because they're so heavily inbred. Crossing out, man. What are you looking for? Because sometimes crossing out, it just depends on what you're crossing out too, and how good your dog is producing. For one, know the production level of your dog. That's the main thing you need to know. If you know your dog is a hit and miss dog, then you need to be breeding to the very, very best male or female that you can breed to with higher percentages. If you breeding a hit and miss with a hit and miss, when I say hit and miss, I mean you may get one good dog out the litter, two good dogs out the litter. Brothers who breeding real high quality, fast lane dogs, you're getting and you study your background, your pedigree, you breeding best to best, how your dog's coming out generation after generation. You're not expecting no one or two good dogs in a litter. You're expecting a boatload of good dogs in a litter. It just depends on how many she have. A litter of 10, you're expecting over 5 good dogs in that litter. A litter of 10 with less than 5 good dogs in that litter, and I ain't talking about average, I'm talking about above average. A litter of 10 with less than 5 above average dogs in it is not a good producer, at least with that particular female, in my opinion. Any dog, in my opinion, any dog can make 1 or 2 good dogs off a litter of 10. I don't care what you breed them to. If you breed them to a hound dog, out of 10 puppies, one of them gonna be a grand champion. So I expect more from a dog who brothers been breeding and supposed been breeding for success year after year after year. It don't make no difference what line it is. We gotta expect more, because I'm right, my brothers, my sisters. You take any of y'all brothers, Eli dogs, your Jeep dogs, your Bolio dogs, your Garner dogs, your whatever dogs you got, and you breed them with your coon hound, your black mount curs, or whatever kind of hound dogs you got out there. You breed them with that dog, and you can't tell me, and I ain't lying, out of 10 puppies, one of them puppies will be a grand champion, or got the potential to be one. It just depends on who had it at that time. Now we talking about with a whole nother dog that's not a pit, and we get at least one. So if we got dogs that's bred up, you gotta expect, or say 5 is not a successful litter at 5 and under. That means you got 5 curs that came off that litter. 5 good ones and 5 curs. Now 5 above average, and then the other, here and there. The other one's a little bit average or maybe below. That's a good litter. But everybody gonna see that from different standpoints. Everybody gonna see that from their own line of vision, when it comes to that. Because it's just all about what you've seen far as through your lifetime when it comes to puppies and how they coming out and the production of the folk you was dealing with. I only speak about that Big John stuff far as production wise. I'ma say, you can say what you want about this person who don't got champions or this. The production level of them dogs is high. That's something that was embedded into them dogs. The way them brothers made them breedings, that's something that they locked in. That's a trait that they locked, clank, clank, like Manny Fresh and them boys used to say. You know what I'm saying? Locked in. No. And that's that gene, that's that production level. Like I told you, every dog don't got it. But a lot of dogs got it, but a lot of brothers can't recognize it. You can't recognize it because you just don't know. It's not your fault. You don't know the background of the dog. It's not some brothers' fault. Some brothers you don't have a chance to know it, and the ones who do, you just don't care about figuring it out. You want to know the background for a name. You don't even try to figure out what the dog actually was doing or how good the dog was. You know what I'm saying? On the level that he competed in. I think, crossing out, like I said, this litter I made with Mellow Yellow and Fletcher is going to be the last time, hopefully, that I got to make this breeding. I only made it for a couple reasons. And, like I said, hopefully this is the last time I'm going to do this breeding. And I may sell one. If I let one go, it just depends on how many she have. All right, let's talk about thinking about the future when it comes to your program, and different kinds of breedings. I want to speak about making a cross with your dogs because, when you speak to different brothers about a breeding program, you don't necessarily know what their objective is in their breeding program. You see, I can make a cross today. Now, when I tell you brothers, okay, what's your line? Now, in your heart, you may have a goal in mind. You may want to cross Red Boy Jocko with the Eli with the Bolio, okay? Now, if that's what you want to do, that's going to take you a certain amount of time. So you think about the future. Say, if I'm making a cross in a dog and my whole objective is to put a Eli cross into my Big John dogs and then purify it back up. When I say that, I mean, I make my cross, I got a 50-50 dog. I got 50% Eli, 50% Big John. After that, off them puppies, I take them puppies back to Fletcher. I take them puppies back to Fletcher. Now we got 75% Big John, 25% of the other dog. Off that litter of puppies, I take them puppies back to another Big John dog. So now we got 100% when it comes to percentage-wise of the Big John stuff into these offspring of puppies that's coming out, and that's like tightening the line back up once you got that out in it. And that's where brothers might say, oh, I got a pure Red Boy Jocko dog, and then you look in the pedigree and you go back about 5 generations and you see it out. But if you really pay attention to the way they was breeding, they was crossing it back into their stuff, crossing it back into pure stuff, crossing it back into pure stuff. So you slowly but surely washing the other stuff out. And it's still going to be present, laying dormant in the back there. It's still going to be back there, but we just talking about percentages. And when you make them outs, and so brothers can understand certain things when it comes to making these breedings, because a lot of brothers don't understand it, and it don't make you less of a man because you don't understand it, because everybody got to start off from somewhere with everything when it comes to these dogs. Pedigree learning, dog conditioning, dog feeding. Everybody got to start off somewhere. You learn from your mistakes, and everybody make mistakes in every single field, I might call out pedigrees on my show one night, and you go back and look at the pedigree, and it might not be the same exact thing what I'm saying because I made a mistake. Everybody make mistakes, you know, and that's just the whole thing. To learn how to read them for yourself. That way you can be the judge for yourself. God done heard brothers say, like a dog I read about a week or so ago. Great dog, but the brother said it was more of one line, but it wasn't. It was more of another line. When I went back into the pedigree and look at it, it had more red boy and I think boils in it than it did the other stuff. You know, so just learn how to read them yourself. That way you can be the judge of certain things. Because, you know, a brother will be like, or I may be like, oh, I got a pure red boy Jocko dog, or I got a pure this kind of dog. And when you look at my pedigree, or I say I got a Big John dog. You coming by publish from me, I'm telling you I got a Big John dog. But then you look at my pedigree, you know, you see Big John one time. Then you see a whole bunch of other kind of dogs in there. Some brothers will ride out with the whole line of their dogs just off with one dog being in the pedigree. And I'm not talking about, you know, that dog name per se. I'm talking about dogs that's coming off that dog. You don't got no more dogs coming off Big John in the pedigree besides his one name. And brothers will say this is a Big John dog. That's not a Big John dog. That's just a dog with Big John in it. You know? And it's, you know, just all about taking time. Like some brothers say it's going to take you so many years. It just depends on what you're trying to breed up, man. And what you're trying to accomplish with your line of dogs, or what the dogs you're dealing with, or the dogs you call your line, you know. Big salute, big shout out to all them brothers down in the chat. Big salute, big shout out to all them brothers that's competing in all these dog shows, from the ADBAs to the South Bottoms to the Digitals. You know, everybody competing in all these shows. Big salute everybody. And y'all hit that like button up down there, man. Y'all hit that like button up down there. Remember where you're getting it from. PBK9's Dog Talk and News, Dog TV, however you want it. You know, this is the Dog Comedy Channel. Sometime we gonna give it to them how they want it, fair and unbiased. That truth hurts. You know, truth hurts, man. Now, let me just talk about this real quick, and I want to speak on this. And this is I'm not responding to no other dog brother video that any brother made videos over the past couple weeks, anything. Just something I thought about. An old schooler once told me the proper way to flirt pole. And, you know, I'm not going to say he's right. I'm not going to say he's wrong. I'm just going to put it out there so brothers can hear what he told me. You know, the proper way to do flirt poling with a dog is in the figure 8 motion. You know, and I'm guessing this is for, you know, you're working both sides, you're going back and forth, you're working all sides of the body, you know, and you're at less risk of getting hurt, you know, as you're going in that actual figure 8. You're not making sharp turns, and you're getting to build up some speed while you're chasing after it. You know, that's why it pays sometimes, you know, that's why it pays to have, and that's why I use the PVC, you know, because simple fact, you can get that real light. You can get the PVC real light to where, you know, you don't got to have a big one like I got. I got that big one because I use it, and, you know, I had it laying around, and I done had that for probably about 10 years now. You know, that's how long it lasts. It's going to last. It's indestructible. It's PCP unless it break. PVC, you know, unless it break. But you can get that thing real long, man. And it keeps you from having to do so much moving. It keeps the dog from being around you, period. You know, and we know these dogs get super smart. You know, these dogs get super smart. They learn. And especially that dog I had, that Jeep dog that grabbed my finger, or the Eli dog rather, that grabbed my finger, Eli Boomerang. He was super smart. He learned how to cut the flirt pole off. You know, if you wasn't doing it right, he'd cut it off, and he'd be halfway down the flirt pole. And you know, like the brothers say out here that make these videos, you know, the dogs will be right there at your fingertips, right there at your hand when he going side to side. And that's what that pipe, that long white pipe that I got, you know, that's what that keeps, you know, keeps the dog from doing. Being close to you keeps you having to move that much. And you can get a lot of running space out of the dog. You can hold a 15-foot piece of pipe like that, and it don't even, it don't even flinch you. And with that pipe, it bends like you want it to bend. It'll bend all the way down and it won't break, and it'll straighten right back out. So you can always get your spring pole work in if you want to get some spring pole work in. Because see, you run the flirt pole and then you let the dog have it in his mouth as well and work and run around with the actual hide in his mouth, because you want him to learn how to breathe out of his mouth without opening his mouth. Breathe while he got a bite on it, so you let them run around with the flirt pole in his mouth. When it comes to dog training, you always want to let the dog win sometimes. When I say win sometimes, I mean, you don't take him out to flirt pole him and you just make him chase it. You got to let him grab it sometimes, let him think he won. It's all just like training. What kind of training you doing? You got to make the dog feel like they won. Let them get a reward. Let them get a reward. But the whole thing of the flirt poling is, the build up the endurance, and you building up muscles as well. That's why a lot of brothers say you can run that flirt pole without running really a lot of whole other things outside of walking. But yeah, man, I just wanted to put that out there that a brother did say the figure 8 was the proper way to do it. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, I don't do the figure 8 every time I do the flirt pole, but I've heard that's the proper way to do it. Now let's talk about this real quick. Male dogs, man, something to check out, something to think about with your male dogs. Always, even if my brothers don't know how to do your AI breedings, you gotta get familiar with that kind of stuff, because the simple fact of the matter is, I'm gonna give you an example of a situation I've been through. Trying to do a breeding, natural breeding. The dog really wouldn't breed. He would breed, but he would kind of act up when the girl dog start trying to growl. So he would hump up a little while, then he'll start trying to fight. So we get tired of all that. We done tried for about 30 minutes. We get tired of all that. Now we go to do the AI. So we about to AI breed him. No liquid come out the dog, period. I'm talking about he was supposed to be shooting at this time. He was hard and everything. No liquid came out of the dog at all. So luckily for us, he didn't hang on the back of that female. Because the simple fact, if he would have hung on the female, we would have thought we was going to have some puppies. And we would have waited that whole 2 months and she wasn't going to catch. We would have never knew that he wasn't shooting no sperm out. We would have bred him to another dog thinking he breeding and wouldn't have got no puppies. We probably would have raised 3 or 4 dogs so we'd have start getting the picture. This dog ain't going to make no puppies. And I'm talking about, that was really the first time I really seen that. I seen dogs have infection in their sperm, different type things. You can tell when a dog's sick, how the sperm look when it come out. But a dog with no sperm at all, I just didn't. That was my first time seeing it. And like I said, I'm putting this out there because just in case you go through that type of stuff or could go through that type of stuff, you can always take your do a what I would call a 50% AI breeding. Do your AI without the female. Get your sperm off your male dog. You can always take it to the vet if you're not sure. Go get a sperm count, or the way what I'm talking about is just simple. It's not saying how high your dog's sperm count is. What I'm telling you is to make sure your dog got some type of sperm coming out of him. It's never gonna hurt to do a 50% AI testing with your dog, and I mean by just getting him to shoot off the sperm to make sure he's got sperm shooting off. And I've heard that a dog that say you haven't been getting any breeding, and this could be wrong, so do your research before you run with it. I've heard it say just a dog sitting up on a chain is healthy to if it's your stud dog, it's healthy to do him time to time. Make him where he shoot off time to time. But like I said, I'm not sure about that. That's just what I heard. Because I'm quite sure if it's a stud dog, having him build up. Oh, I know what it is. You don't want the sperm to stay in there too long. You don't want it to get old. You know what I'm saying? You don't want it to get old. It takes sperm a certain amount of time to build up new ones. You're talking about a month, 2 or 3 months that the whole process is going to take. But he always going to have sperm in him. I'm talking about new cells to where, it's back like it was. Now, we always getting fresh new cells. But it said if you just leave it in there for the dog just to get, say, 2 years time and he ain't bred with nothing, some of that sperm in there may be dead. Some of it may be dead. And like I said, it comes to times where you have your dogs like that who haven't bred in 2 years, and they might be bred before, haven't bred in 2 years, and they come and they drop a load. It's just different dogs, man. But it's always worth to check when you're doing your breeding to make sure that, your dog's going to tie up and stuff like that. Now, let's talk about this real quick, man, because this is something I'm paying attention to. Which genes pass over into these dogs more easier? You know what I'm saying? Which genes pass over more easier? When I say that, I mean, we got mild, we got gameness, we got human aggression, we got all these different type of traits. Which traits do we see the most of in a litter of 10 puppies? And this is this little theory I was coming up with. It's easier to pass your game traits over than it is your mouth traits for some reason. It's like we got a litter of 10 puppies. All 10 of them puppies might be game. And when I say game, I don't mean they are they champions. I just mean they game dogs. They dogs with some they're some game dogs. Whether they won or lost, they was game. You may have half the litter game, and the other half mediocre out of 10 puppies. But when we say gameness versus mouth, we don't get mouth as regular as we get our gameness. A litter of 10 puppies, we're not going to get 5 dogs with that same mouth from the South, the mouth of the century. You won't get 5 mouth of the century dogs off of a litter of 10 puppies. Might get 5 champions. Might get 5 grand champions. But it's going to be harder to get 5 mouth of the South dogs off that litter compared to 5 game dogs off that litter. Human aggressive dogs. It's going to be easier to get a litter full of human aggressive dogs than it is to get that Superman mouth y'all talking about. See, when it comes to that mouth scale, and this is why, when it comes to the mouth scale, it's going to always vary. Everybody's mouth is different. Gameness, everybody gameness pretty much is the same. That dog who can finish that competition. But mouth ain't. Some brothers got mouths that's average, and then they go around bragging and saying this dog here is a great white shark. Everybody's mouth is different. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, like I said, the mouth is like the hardest thing to transfer because of that scale, and everybody's mouth is different. This brother who feel like this is mouth, he might say, man, this whole litter biting. And then you might get 5 of the dogs off that litter, and none of them biting you don't consider. Because everybody's scale is different when it comes to mouth. If he tell you them dogs is outstanding, out of this world game, and then you get them, it's a good chance they're going to be game. They can win, they can lose, but as long as they gain, his word was bond. And that's why I say it's like that mouth is almost like a ghost. All dogs bite, all dogs bite hard to the humans. You know, the dogs that they say can't bite at all, they bite me, boy. It feel like it's, boy, look here, feel like your arm falling off. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to a dog on that caliber, every dog don't bite that hard. And if you really, like I said, if you really think about it, how easy does it seem that all these dogs, I'm not talking about just one line, Red Boy Jocko, the Big John line, the next line, all these lines, it's harder. Or you see brothers can call out their mouth more than they can call out anything. They can't call out the mouth. They can tell you that dog gonna be game. This dog gonna be game. This dog gonna be smart. This dog gonna be human aggressive. You know, but they can't tell you this dog gonna have a 100 mouth. Because it always varies from person to person, man. You gonna think 100 and I'm gonna think it's a 50. And my man around the corner think it's a 25. You know? So how can we ever be on the same page if all of us looking at something in different ways? You know? That's why I always say, they make the little things where you can let your dog bite it and see what his bite power is. See what his bite pressure is. If you got a dog with bite pressure that say his PSI is 400, and then you claiming he got mouth, which may be, but then you talking trash to the next man who you may say dogs don't got mouth, but his dog bite the machine and he got 700 PSI, then his dog's biting harder than yours. That's all it is to it. It don't matter about all that other stuff. You talking about one bite. This dog jaw power is stronger than your dog jaw power. You know? Hey, just things to think about, man. Things to think about. The mouth scale, it never changes. It never stops. It's always going to be what he thinks different from what I think or what the next brother think. You know? Now, let's jump into this subject me and Summer I was talking about the other night when I asked them about training in the desert. If I know I'm going to take my dog to a show in Arizona, you know, working in the desert. And brothers may think we was talking about the old days in certain aspects, and maybe I was talking about the old days, but let's use that same scenario for everything that we do modern day times when it comes to these shows, as far as the treadmills, the confirmation, the weight pull, and all that. You know, that weather gonna matter, especially when you talking about going to the finals and the nationals and all that stuff. You talk about going to Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm going from South Carolina to Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm going to New Jersey. You know, when they have the thing, you know. So my dog is adapting or getting into different atmospheres and different types of air in both scenarios. You know, so what we said and what we was talking about can have a lot of significance in the dog brothers that go to the shows and all that stuff. Because imagine this. Your dog used to getting pumped up and firing off in the down south humidity. You know, now we get the Salt Lake City to the Nationals. He firing off, but the air that's coming back into him is not the same air that he used to getting for firing off. Now he's acting a little different. He in down south, Florida, Georgia, and all them other places, he fire off all day long. Now he over there in the Nationals, he ain't firing off for 5 or 10 minutes, and now he calmed down a little bit. That's because he's bringing different air in. His body making him feel different. You know, so it would be something to think about when you know you're traveling across these countries and you going to these different shows. You bringing dogs from different environments. Brothers bringing dogs from up north. You know you're coming down to the Florida show. It's going to be hot. So get your dog. Somehow or another, you need to get used to that heat. You can't never get used to the heat. Nobody. No human, no dog, no nothing. But you can get used to the heat at the same time. You know, just preparing for the situation. And this comes to another topic that I want to speak about. You know, it's basically the fun part of the battling. You know, it's when you're doing research on your opponents. You know, I'm going to New Jersey for the finals. I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to New Jersey for the finals. I'm trying to figure out who all going. It's the fun part of the game, man. You don't got to be stubborn with everything you do with these dogs. Oh, forget what he's doing. I don't care. I'm going in it. It's the fun part of the game, man. It's the fun part of the game. You know, you do a little do a little studying. What this dog here do? How they walk? How they come out with their gait? What they doing? How they bend over? What kind of tricks this person doing? This is the champion. I know they gonna beat up. It's just like football, you know. And y'all brothers say steroids ain't illegal, so Spygate ain't illegal. You know, Spygate ain't illegal. You learn and study film work, man. It's fun. It's not you scared or nothing like that. It's just fun studying your opponent, bringing your dog in. It's a competing edge. You want the competing edge without cheating, you know. And it just, to me, I feel like it's the fun part of the game as far as competing, man, because you got all these different environments, all this different kind of weather, everywhere you go at, all different kind of brothers. You know what I'm saying? It's getting to the point, and we got all these cameras out here, so there's no way we can't get footage at each different show. We're not talking about HD footage where we want to look at it on TV. We talking about film study footage, you know, just footage studying how your possible opponent, what they doing with their dog in the ring, you know, what they doing. It's all about competing, man, and having fun, dog. And my ladies out there, you know, competing and having fun. And I always say, get your dog to the level where the best level you can for him to win. You know, you want to make it easy as possible, the way he don't got to work that hard, because you done did all the hard work. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I feel. You can have the best dog in the world, but if you do the hard work for him, you know, you make it easy on him. Now, let's get into this little topic right here real quick, right? We talking about everything isn't a pit bull. And we know that. Everything isn't a pit bull, but let's see what y'all brothers think. I'm going to give y'all some pictures, you know, up here on the side up here. Give y'all some pictures up there. And I want to know where the pit bulls at and where the mixed pit bulls at. You know, from one picture to the next. Where are the full-blooded pit bulls? Now, I ain't going to really play with y'all too long with that. I'm just going to tell you straight out. Let's go ahead and break this thing straight on out. The pictures that I'm showing y'all is two different kind of dogs. You know, I'm going to show y'all a set of Pitbull Catahoula mixed dogs. And I'm going to show y'all a set of Pitbull Blackmouth Cur mixed dogs. You know, and every last one of these dogs look like pit bulls. But everything isn't a pit bull. And like the brother said on that Facebook post I read earlier, that's where I got it from. The brother said, y'all need to show some pit bulls then. You know what I'm saying? Y'all say everything isn't a pit bull, then y'all need to drop what a pit bull look like up under that post. You know? But y'all just check these pictures out, man. And like I said, the first set of them is Blackmouth Curs. Pit bulls and Catahoulas. Second set of them is Blackmouth Curs and pit bulls. And it just let you see, man, that your dog can have something else in it and you not even know it, or you think this dog is full, especially when you're not real familiar with pit bulls. A brother can swindle you with anything. And then you think we always talking kind of crazy when we say real pit bulls. We got real pit bulls, but then brothers recognize that you got a Catahoula pit bull mix, and you don't understand that. You know, some brothers can spot them out instantly. You know, everybody don't got that eye for that. You know, we got too many people in this world that love that breed of dog, and everybody don't even look at the dog to be spotting certain things out like that with them. You know, but when we do these videos and we do these shows and stuff, no matter how much mumbo jumbo we talk about throughout the week, we still got to give some brothers some type of knowledge to go out with and to look at and to take with them in this dog game. You know what I'm saying? So today we looking at these dogs and learning that none of these dogs in this video that I'm showing beside me, you know, none of them dogs is pit bulls, period. All of them mixed. Every single one of them. And some brothers probably looked at some of them pictures and said, this one mixed, this one full. This one mixed, this one full. None of them full. I made sure that everyone I downloaded was off certain sites. You know? And that's another thing we talk about, man. How easy it could have been for some of these old schoolers back in the days to throw different kind of dogs into these dogs, and brothers not realize it. You know, and I'm not pointing no fingers at nobody. Just talking in general, you know. And like the statement I was talking about earlier when I was saying that gameness is passed down more than mouth, because everybody's mouth definition varies. You know, when it comes to gameness is what it is. You know, the dog game or he ain't. That's why. The dog human aggressive or he ain't. You know, the dog this or he ain't. But he got hard mouth. He got hard mouth. Maybe. I don't know that person's judgment. You know, that's what it always gonna come to when it comes to mouth. That's why it's gonna always be hard to actually get the mouth that you're looking for in these dogs based off of the person's that telling you that stuff. It depends on who that person is, you know, and their judgment on mouth. Oh man, I had 2 litters. All of them was alligators. None of them biting in your category, you know. So just pay attention, my brothers out there, you know what I'm saying? Y'all stay dry there, my brothers. We got the tropical storm going down over here in the Carolinas, South and North Carolina. Y'all brothers stay dry out there. Y'all sisters stay dry out there from around the world, all the way back to the US of A, man. Y'all stay legal. And remember, y'all get that dog talk and news from, man, PBK9s. And we out.